and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, for the big one. Because quite honestly, this Sunday here, Barca against Atletico Madrid, it's one of the most difficult teams, in my opinion, that we have faced so far this season. Obviously, we've been in lots of big occasions, lots of big matches, but I think Atletico Madrid, they've caused us different kinds of problems, as we discussed on the channel yesterday, and that's why it's important here that we get the win on Sunday in terms of the title race, in terms of the statement that it would send out. And right here today, we are going to be talking all about the game to come. We're going to be giving our predictions, and obviously in midweek, I got a prediction correct against Benfica. Can lightning strike twice in 1 week? We are about to find out, and just like in yesterday's video, also stay tuned here today for one more thing that we should really be paying attention to on Sunday. It is all on the way. Get yourselves ready for a colossal clash. Let's do this. But first of all, guys, I have to highlight right here an absolutely incredible super thanks, because check out this comment right here, guys. Hi, Jamie. I've been a football purist most of my life with no real affiliation to any team, but ever since 2017, I have become an avid Real Madrid hater. It is simply an injustice to the world how much controversial success this team has had. And I've got to be honest, guys, I often wonder from the outside, obviously we as Barca fans, we can be biased, but I often think, looking at the game in midweek, the decision that we saw, what do other fans feel about this? Is it just us screaming about it, or do other people feel the same way? And it seems as though they do, so a big thank you here for the great support coming in. I appreciate that. But hey, guys, in terms of the league table here, in terms of Sunday's game, it's an important one for us, because yeah, we're at the top of the league. Yes, everything right now is very much in our own hands. We put ourselves in an excellent position, because do not forget, we have that game in hand too. So technically, a draw here, a point, wouldn't be the end of the world. Obviously, we're not aiming for a point. We go out to win every single game, but we're in a great position. And Real Madrid, just later on today, they go away to Villarreal, which will be a very, very big game too. But I want to talk through here some pre-match quotes from Hansi Flick. Very, very interesting, I thought, today, Hansi Flick. He seemed, of course, in confident mood. He did really emphasise the need to be focused. He said, look, we're well aware of what's happened, what's gone on here, the games that we've had against them. We need that ultimate focus and concentration to get the win against this kind of opposition. So Flick very much locked in. The players have had a good amount of recovery time, plenty of days on the training ground here to prepare for this one. And as we spoke about yesterday, Atleti have not had that time. They are going to be a little bit tired. They are going to be a bit jaded. And that is why we need to strike early in this game. And I thought it was interesting there that Hansi Flick was asked in his press conference, what do you make of Balde right now? The performances that we are seeing from him, the improvements that he's made this season, and quite unbelievably and unforgivably, in my opinion, he was left out of Luis de la Fuente's squad, his Spain squad, in the week. He was left out of that. I could not believe it. But hey, Spain's loss is our gain, and Flick did say Balde has improved tremendously. He's one of the best left backs in football with huge potential. He keeps getting better every day, and that's the big positive, because we are seeing now all of that improvement, and that's what I think is really, really exciting about Balde, the player that we see here today, the player that is absolutely shredding that left side. For me, he's still got levels to go. I believe we can see him grow and grow and improve even more, and that is absolutely incredible. He is still only just 21 years old, and under Hansi Flick, for me, the sky is the absolute limit for him. But what about Frenkie de Jong? Because Hansi Flick there was asked about the contract negotiations that appear to be going on. Frenkie apparently has a lot more willingness right now to renew at Barca. Of course, there's still big discussions happening over exactly what terms that renewal would be on. But in Flick's mind, I don't think he's in any doubt at all that he wants Frenkie to stay at the club. He said, look, his renewal depends on the club and on him as well, so we'll see on that. But he's recovered from his injury now. He's doing really, really well with the ball. He gives us so much in possession. And Flick said again, I'm so happy that we have him there. He is a massive Frenkie de Jong fan. He's really enjoying him. And he's got every chance, let's be honest here, of starting this weekend again against Atletico Madrid. But also, guys, what about one man here who doesn't really have a chance to start. And I've got to be honest, when I was doing the video yesterday talking about the potential teams, talking about the tactics, it made me a little bit sad that we're not even really considering Gavi right now. That in a big game like this, in the past, of course, massive games against Atleti, Champions League games, you'd always have Gavi in your mind. You'd always want him to be involved. But right now, he's on the periphery of the squad. There's other players playing very, very well. There's other players who've really cemented their places ahead of him. And I thought that was quite sad and disappointing. He was also left out as well of the Spain squad too. But Flick, though, he's still got tremendous faith in Gavi. He still sees massive potential. He said, look, I talked to everybody, including Gavi. You have to remember, he has come back from a serious injury, but he's doing well. He will be one of Barca's absolute superstars. His attitude is incredible. I'm really happy with him, and he will play many years at this incredible club, and he'll definitely play the 2026 World Cup. So Flick still has big faith in Gavi. He still sees him as an extraordinary player there. And don't forget, he was saying exactly the same things when Frenkie was recovering from his injury. When Frenkie de Jong came back, when there wasn't a lot of confidence in his body, when he looked a bit of a shadow, really, of his former self, Flick was the one who kept on saying, look, it'll take time. We have to give him time. We have to keep the faith in him. We have to keep giving him minutes here and there. He will get back to his best. So right here, it's almost like he's repeating that now with Gavi. He still sees the potential. He still sees the quality. And he has the ultimate belief that Gavi will be back. He will be back to his best. And he will be one of the superstars at this club. However, guys, when it comes here to the starting lineup heading into this game, I do believe a lot of it has already really been decided. We saw Flick against Benfica line up with repeated kind of teams. We know who's really worked his way into his plans right now. But one of the big calls that he will have to make regards Pau Cubarsí, of course, who was suspended in midweek. Araujo then replaced him in the lineup against Benfica, and let's be honest, did very well there. Made absolutely no mistakes in that game. So the big question will be, does Pau come back in? He has been unbelievable this season. Alongside Inigo Martinez, those two have been an absolutely fantastic combination. But is it possible here that we just stick with what was working, that we don't, radically look to change anything from that Benfica second leg that worked so well for us? I think it's possible here that Flick just continues on, that we see Araujo at centre-back there alongside Inigo with Koundé and Alejandro Balde, of course, as the full-backs there, which would be a little bit harsh on Cubarsí, but of course he has already played so much football this season. And then in midfield, the other big decision regarding either Frenkie de Jong or Marc Casado. In yesterday's video, we made cases there for both of them. We know what Frenkie can do in possession, the way that he can carry the ball, the strength that he can have there in midfield, but we also know that Marc Casado, he still has his uses. This man is still a very, very high-quality midfielder that in a game like this, where it can be a little bit more physical, where you do have those individual duels, he can come out on top in those situations. But, guys, I do believe here, again, that we will go for consistency, that Frenkie will start alongside Pedri, that Olmo will be there again, Yamal, Raphinha, Lewandowski will keep his place, because what we've seen from Hansi Flick during the season so far is that if we are winning, if things are going well, if we're playing well, he's not in a massive hurry to change things around unnecessarily there. He will go with players who have performed, that are playing well, that have had a perfect amount of rest here, right the way up until Sunday night, and he will put faith in this team to deliver again. But indeed, guys, if we do head on over now to the SofaScore app to get started on some of these predictions, and as you can see right here from the recent form, the only blip really that Barca have had was that Copa del Rey encounter against Atleti, a game that we never, ever should have drawn, to be honest. And over the past sort of 5 games, Atleti, they have started a few cracks to appear in their team. They're losing, of course, in the Champions League, a few draws as well in the league before that. And as you can see right here, in terms of the comparison, as you would expect, Barca going forward here, the attacking stats very much in our favour. Apart from big chances missed per game. We actually miss one more big chance a game than Atleti do, of course. We have more of the ball, and as you would expect maybe as well, Atleti on the defensive side, they do have the edge. They do have the upper hand. But in terms here of the predictions, and we're coming on to the score in just a moment's time, but who do I think will win here? Well, I am going to go with Barca. I think that we will get the win against Atleti. I do believe here that both teams will score, though. There have been goals shared between these two teams, and I do think Barca will have a quick start to this game and score first. And guys, if you want to get involved there over on SofaScore, if you want to cast your own votes for this game, please do follow the link in the description down below. That'll take you right to the app, and it will also really help support the channel in the process. But my official score prediction here, my big one ahead of this game, is going to be Atleti 1, Barca 3. I believe that lightning can strike twice in 1 week. I'm going to go for exactly the same score prediction as against Benfica, in the hope that Barca here again can deliver another knockout blow. But indeed, guys, of course, yesterday we did discuss the one area of this Atletico Madrid team that we must keep an eye on, that we must be very, very wary of ahead of Sunday's match. But I actually want to come in here from a different kind of angle. I think there is one area of this Atleti team that we don't only need to be aware of, but we actually need to target. Because can we just talk about our old friend, Clement Longley? Because just maybe he could be our friend in this game. Because as we've seen in the past with Longley, he can often be a friend to the opposition. Because you only need to look at what happened in midweek there. If you put enough pressure on him, if you really go in on him, 1 versus 1, you put players on him there who are going to run in behind, who are going to run in and around him, he wants to make a mistake. There's something about Longley that just thinks, okay, let's give away a penalty. Let's do something self-destructive for my team. It happens. We've seen that firsthand at Barca. And I just think here, if Simeone is going to go with him again at the weekend, you've got to target that area. You have got to really put players like Raphinha, like Yamal, tricky players there, who can cause him problems, who can force that game-defining mistake. And if we do get a penalty, unlike Vinicius, who sent his to Mars, I personally believe that we can make it count. So that right there, guys, is the master plan. And I would like to know in the comments down below here, what are you feeling ahead of this game? You know, what do you think the score is going to be? How would you line up? And are you confident heading to the Metropolitano in what should be an absolute classic, guys? I will see you all on Sunday after the big game itself. Thank you here for tuning in for all of the build-up on the channel. I really appreciate the support. And please head down below and download the SofaScore app for free and enjoy. I'll see you then, guys. But until next time, as always, Vejka, El Barça.